Alright guys, welcome back. So let's have a look at Applied Digital, APLD. So if you're new to the channel, we have talked about this name. So last time I was speculating, okay, so we talked about possibility of going for 20 and then 50% decline and then $3 target, hit the $3 target. And then right here, I was saying that, okay, so from its highs, the stock is down 60% and maybe NVIDIA unloaded their shares and possibly the stock could go lower to test that 3 and maybe go even lower. So this did not happen and I took my loss. That's totally fine, and I was initially, when I entered the position, I was already ready to lose that money. And for those people who have been trading in the last few days, which I was going in and out as well with the puts when stock reached this 631 yesterday. So I think I have a couple that are going to expire worthless tomorrow on the option expiration. But anyhow, so the reason why I'm gonna label it IV crush is earnings were out of the way, right? So stock gapped, rallied its way back up to these levels. So let me get this tool. Rallied the way back up from 330, 320 up until the $6 levels, kind of melt up with a decent volume. But if you take a look at the option activity, the IV was so elevated. It was so high for this week and next week because a lot of people were speculating. You can see my losses right here too as well. So I was speculating through here as well. So I think I'm down on this stock. Probably I lost $2,000 on that bet, but that's okay. So, but now, since all those 13 Fs, essentially anybody who was buying this stock, selling this stock, basically, so F13s are over, okay? So maybe you will see, probably NVIDIA was the latest that a lot of people were waiting for, which is out now too. And I want to show you guys the biggest holders and how they changed, okay? So looks like we are seeing, so this is the largest holders of this stock by amount of shares, okay? So this is their CEO, okay? So he has 22 million, and then Hood River Capital Management 21 million. It looks like it represents 2% of their portfolio. BlackRock 16 million, Vanguard 13 million, Oasis Management 8 million, and then NVIDIA 7.7 million. Unchanged. You can see the filing date of that 13F, and you can see like all these guys that could have added throughout this quarter as well. If you take a look at the Hood River Management Capital, so they added 6 million on top of their position, so 40% change. As is 30 minutes, so you can just go through. I don't know if you're seeing the website. Oh, it looks like you're seeing it. Yep. Just go to wellwisdom.com and just, if you want to go through it yourself, any stock essentially, you can go through who added, who sold, how much. And I was just going through this, and it kind of interesting that there were more funds, more like banks, like hedge funds and all these guys. More people actually added the stock in the last quarter, maybe because stock was down significantly. And they reported that they have some ownership, and I believe it was anybody. So, but anybody who bought it, they couldn't have bought it for less than 530-ish dollar levels because quarter ended somewhere right here. So essentially, I'm assuming in this quarter right here, when stock flushed these $4 levels, I think more people added as well. But most of those 13 Fs that came in, essentially, all those people purchased the stock somewhere in this range from $12 up until these like $6 levels. And you can take a look at it here as well. Their average price, you can just take a look at it. Average price based on their filings: $8, $6.40, $8.40, $4.80, $6, and all that good stuff. Okay, So another thing I want to show, you can do it here as well. So this is another website which is called 13f.info, which will give you comparison, right? So this stock is at the moment valued to 1.1 billion, and you can see like which company, which fund, essentially. Anybody who is managing over 100 million, they're required to file this 13F filing every quarter with SEC, Securities and Exchange. This is where it's coming from, essentially. And they also publish on their website as well. So, but it's very handy that this gives you consolidated view, and you can take a look what other people are doing, like big boys, like with big money, what they're doing. Are they increasing their position? Are they adding? What are they doing? So you can see right here, Goldman Sachs also added 1.7 million to their existing 1.4 million shares, so they increased it by 125%. And you can just go through, like Hood River, apparently they increased by 40% from their existing position, and you can just go through all that. And I was very interested about Nvidia, which I was speculating on that one, which is unchanged. They're still holding, and now after market close, I don't think price has changed as much, but a little bit of a gap. So now let's take a look at the price action. So the reason why I'm saying IV is going to crush now, because market makers were already pricing in that all these 13Fs could have moved the stock, and this is what happened too, because a lot of funds were already publishing their 13Fs up until this moment, and off this information, this stock was essentially moving higher because earnings, not many people liked it, but again, they're still growing. And they also issued 150 million, I think, or something, convertible, I think it's notes that are convertible into equity within like 45 days or something like that. You can go take a look at it yourself. But what I want to say is, okay, so if everybody's trying to accumulate, but at the end, me as a trader who looks at the chart, and basically for the most part, if it's a small cap, I place my orders based on the price level of the stock, essentially looking at the chart, and then I don't pay too much of attention to the fundamentals. But fundamentally, this stock, yes, it is still growing, but they're not making money, right? We know that this is a growth story and all that stuff, but essentially for me, chart itself will tell me, like when you take a look at the like big stocks, blue chip stocks, it will already tell you the story even without looking at the fundamentals. Like let's say if you're a momentum trader, let's say I'm a momentum trader, I come take a look at the, let's say HIMS, right? It just going higher, pulling back, and then it just has a sort of a trend, clearer trend where you can see pullbacks are being bought and it's making higher highs, higher lows, right? And of course, when it had a steep decline, it started pushing significantly higher, something like that. I want to see catalyst followed by price action in the stock itself, followed by option activity, that is pretty much people betting that this stock could go higher, something like that. But so far for APLD, maybe the first point of interest for me to be bullish is going to be 200-day moving average. Where is it? So that price is at the moment like $7, give or take, $6.45. This is what I would be watching for the stock if I want to bet, let's say, calls. And again, I would be looking, just like I said, for some sort of a catalyst followed by maybe company, good, maybe earnings report upcoming. I don't know, we have 2 more months up until that moment. Or maybe they are going to find tenants for their unoccupied sites that they have built that are still empty. So something like that. And then I would definitely be playing it with option activity. So last time this was the momentum that I saw where stock was trading off the Nvidia headline too, and it just kind of started melting. So, but the big price movement for me would be like big resistance would be this $11 area, where I would be super interested if it builds above that area. Of course, it is a far away from there. So this stock is 1.3 billion, essentially has to double from here in order to break out of this level, because I do like to trade breakouts and I don't like charts that look like this, very messy. If anything, I'm interested to short charts like this off their resistance levels. So for me right here, right now, ultra short term, that $7 as a resistance. And then I just put this, I just cleaned up the chart and I just put this trend line. Looks like we are holding on to this trend line from 2022, 2023, and then looks like that's where we bounced literally last time when the stock flushed down to this $3.25. So this is what I would be watching for APLD. Probably we're not gonna talk too much about this name in the coming weeks, unless I see something exciting going on with the option activity. But sure, I'm watching the stock from neutral to bullish from here. So, but again, if it doesn't hold these this 50-day moving average right now, this yellow line you can see is a 50-day SMA. So after option expiration of tomorrow, which is May 16th, pretty big OPEX. If this stock tries to drift lower, sure, I would be interested then to watch that $3.50 as a support again, and probably fade that move too if it starts rolling over from these levels. Okay, so that's my update for Applied Digital APLD, and thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next update. Take care. Peace.